Do you know? A death row prisoner requested dirt as their last meal request. This is Michelle. These are the 5 bizarre last meal requests of death row prisoners you probably haven't heard about. In 1960, Victor Harry Feaker, a drifter from Michigan, arrived in Dubuque, Iowa. Upon arriving there, he entered a room and began calling doctors from the Yellow Pages. Dr. Edward Bartles answered his call. Victor claimed that a woman needed help, so the doctor made his way. When Dr. Bartles arrived, Victor shot him in the head. A few days later, the doctor's body was found in a cornfield and Victor was arrested while trying to sell the victim's car. He was charged with kidnap, murder, and sentenced to death. Victor was 28 years old when he was executed by hanging on March 15, 1963. Victor Harry Feaker's last meal request was a single olive with a pit left in. After the execution, the pit was found in his suit pocket. It is believed that Feaker wanted to be buried with the pit, so an olive tree, which is a symbol of peace, would grow from his grave. J. Grasso execution was punishment for the 2 lives he had taken. His first victim was 87-year-old Hilda Johnson, whom he strangled using her Christmas tree lights on December 24, 1990. The woman lost her life for $12 and a television. 6 months later, Thomas killed 81-year-old Leslie Holtz and stole his Social Security check. He confessed to both crimes when he was arrested by New York detectives who were investigating the murder of his second victim. Thomas was 32 years old when he was executed by lethal injection at Oklahoma State Penitentiary on March 20, 1995. Grasso's massive last meal consisted of 2 dozen mussels, 2 dozen clams, a half-dozen spare ribs, a double cheeseburger from Burger King, 2 strawberry milkshakes, half a pumpkin pie, strawberries, and a can of spaghettios with meatballs. He got everything he asked for, but the prison cook used spaghetti instead of giving him the canned spaghettios. David Leon Woods spent an unbelievable 22 years on death row before being executed by lethal injection in Indiana on May 4, 2007. Prior to his arrest and conviction, Woods and his 2 friends went to the home of Juan Plasencia, intending to steal his television. They rang the doorbell of Plasencia's apartment, and when the man opened the door, David started stabbing him. They stole the TV and left the man to die. But it was Woods who called the police the very next morning, claiming that he found the victim's body when he stopped by because he wanted to use his phone. While Woods was questioned by the police, his mother arrived and said that she thought her son was responsible for the murder. The police searched their house and found a blood-stained towel and a knife sheath. Woods was then taken to the police station where he broke down and confessed everything. 22 years later, David Woods was granted a last meal before his execution. He chose to have pizza and birthday cake with his family. His birthday was 3 months after his execution. Philip Ray Workman was 28 years old when he shot and killed police officer Ronald Oliver while robbing a Wendy's restaurant in Memphis on August 5, 1981. Shortly after he was arrested, Workman was sentenced to death by lethal injection. In a last attempt to save his soul, Workman asked for a vegetarian pizza to be given to the homeless as his last meal. But prison officials denied his request and Workman refused to eat anything. However, on May 9, 2007, the day of his execution, homeless shelters in Tennessee received vegetarian pizzas from all over the country. On March 7, 1983, James Edward Smith shot and killed Larry Don Rojas while robbing the Union Life Insurance Company. Smith was convicted of capital murder and was sentenced to death by lethal injection. Prior to his arrest, Smith claimed that he took part in 6 ritualistic killings. For his last meal, Smith requested Driacunda dirt, which is associated with voodoo rituals. He wanted to use it to mark his body, so that his soul would move on and not stay on Earth as a ghost. Smith's request was not granted, and on June 25, 1990, he received yogurt as his last meal. Which of these last meals do you think is the most bizarre? Comment down below, like and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.